Morning, everyone. Thanksgiving is over, and now we're focusing on Christmas. And from now to Christmas, y'all gonna see me in my Christmas t-shirts and sweatshirts, and because I love them. And I've got several, so that's probably about all y'all gonna see me wearing. A lot of y'all wanted me to do a video on my Brunswick stew. So that's what we're doing today. And I am making this because we're going to my grandson's out in Texas during the either just before Christmas or right after Christmas. Not sure yet. And I am making this. I'm going to put it in the freezer and I'm going to carry it with us. So I have got a 3-pound Boston butt here that Roy went right up to Peacock's, the little meat market right up the road, and picked it up this morning. And as you can see, it's got a good bit of fat in it. Well, that is what you want, because that fat is where a lot of your flavor comes from. So, I'm going to do this in my Instapot back here, and so it doesn't take so long to cook, I cut it in pieces like this, in little cubes. And I've already got some water in my pot, so I'm going to put this in there. Now, when I was doing it for Thanksgiving, I did it in my big 8-quart. This is a 4-quart because I did a lot. So, all right. I just put enough water up to the fill line on this. And I'm going to put some, now I'm going to season every level of my my Brunswick stew. That is garlic, that's onion powder, garlic powder, and that's 1/4 of a teaspoon. All right. This is a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All right. Now I'm going to put this little piece of fat in there because it's got just a teeny bit. I cut it off, but it's got just a teeny bit of meat on it. So I'm going to put it in my Instapot, and I'm going to cook it about an hour because I just want it falling all to pieces. Okay? Now, my Brunswick stew calls for chicken and pork, Boston butt. You can use rotisserie chicken if you want to, but I went to the freezer and I got out some, you can use a whole chicken. This is chicken thighs, and I had 1 chicken breast in there. So it was just a pack that I had put some pieces in. Now, I'm going to season this broth. I've got celery and onions here. All right, I'm going to put that in there. And that's 1/4 garlic, 1/4 onion, 1/2 pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay? I'm going to put this on my burner, and I'm going to cook this until it's falling all to pieces, because that's the way I want my meat. A lot of times I'll do this step the day before, but today, since it's kind of calm, I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. If I do my meat the day before, then all I have to do the next morning is just get up and put it all together, which takes like 30 or 45 minutes. But when I'm doing, it's a couple of hours when I do my meat and my stew at the same time, the same day. And that's what I'm doing this morning because it's a kind of calm day, so I've got plenty of time. So I'm going to get my Instapot on with my pork roast in it. I'm going to get my burner on with my chicken and my veggies. You want to put those veggies in there because it makes really good stock. And you want a lot of flavor in your stock or your broth. You can use bone broth, whatever you have. But homemade is better than the box. But if you buy the box, get the stock, not the broth, because stock is richer than the broth. So, all right, we're going to cook this, and it's going to take probably an hour, and I'm going to let it cool a little bit, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get all this put together. Okay, our chicken is ready, and I want y'all to look at this stock. You see that? I cooked it on low for about an hour and a half, and when you do that, you get a really rich stock. So I just took my chicken out. Now, this is my pork broth here that came off of my Boston butt, and there's not... My son came in. I was fixing him a plate to take to work, and he said, "Oh, Mom, this is so good," and he just stood there and kept eating, but that's all right, because it was a small Boston butt, but I've got enough left. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to strain this celery and
this is the chicken broth.
This is the chicken broth. And my thing, yeah, it is. Okay. I'm straining all of this celery and onions off my broth. Okay? Now, I've still got some good stuff in here, so I'm going to pick it out, because I want to use this same pot. I'm going to get press it and get all that broth out. Okay. I'll do that. Okay. I'll set this to the side because we are not going to need that. Now, I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to use the same pot because, it's where I cook my chicken. Okay? So I don't need to wash it, except I want to get that off right around there. All right, now, let me get this is 4 cups. So I'm only going to do a half of the recipe today. Let me get this is my mama's recipe, and she's got, let's see what she's got in here. 5 cups of Boston butt, but I'm only doing 2.5. I'm only doing 1.5 chicken. She's got 3.5 cups of pork broth, but I do pork broth and chicken broth. So, let me get a measuring cup. All right. I'm going to do 1.5 cups of chicken broth. And I'm going to do 1.5 cups of pork broth. All right. Now, what I will do with this other is I will freeze it. I will put it in freezer containers. I'll put it in the freezer. And next time I get ready for broth, I've got my broth in the freezer.
Christmas is a-coming.
Yep. Some good
and you'll
rich
be making
broth.
dressing.
I will. So I've got a good bit of broth in the freezer already, but that's okay. Because chicken and dumplings, stews, I use broth instead of water. I use broth when I'm cooking something. And now this is my really sealed home canned tomatoes. All right, this is 16 ounces. You would use a 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes if you don't have home canned tomatoes. Okay, pretty much everything I do is home canned. So, but just use the diced tomatoes out of the from the grocery store. All right, that was one 16-ounce. That was 1 pint. I think I'm going to do another pint. Now, I canned these tomatoes in, this is tomato sauce right here. This was tomatoes, this is tomato sauce. I canned them in August of 23. So I may not use, I'm just going to use half of that. And if I need more, then I'll put more. All right. We have already seasoned all of our, you saw me season the meat as we were cooking it. I'm going to taste of this broth, and the tomatoes, my tomatoes have salt in them. Oh, that's good. But it needs more salt and needs more pepper. So, let me get my, all right, this is a 1 teaspoon. I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt. All right. Now, this is some corn. We had corn Thanksgiving. This is some corn that was left. So I'm going to put that in there. All right, this is vinegar. I do 3 tablespoons of white vinegar.
And a half recipe.
And a half recipe. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to do, but I'm just going to put the half recipe in the description box, and you can double it. Or you can triple it, ever what you want to do, okay? All right, this is 3 tablespoons of Worcestershire. This is still going to make about 4 quarts. So, but I usually make about 8 quarts when I do Brunswick stew.
Because you can always handle Brunswick stew from the freezer, so we like to make it.
Yeah.
Make a lot when we make it.
Well, that's what I'm doing with this. I'm making it to put in the freezer. Mm-hmm. So, and I may have to go get another can of corn. All right, now, let me put this over here. Now, I just take a couple of potatoes, put them in the microwave, and cook them. Then I just peel them.
Potatoes add more flavor than noodles.
A lot of people put, Mama always put spaghetti noodles. But one year my daughter Jill, she said, Mom, we don't like the spaghetti noodles. She said, try potato. And I did, and they absolutely loved it. So,
you don't have to fill it full of potatoes to get the
I'm
flavor.
only putting 2. I'm only putting 2. You don't need a whole bunch. So, but you can put as many as you want in yours.
Yep.
But 2 is all that I put in mine.
And the Brunswick stew that Rose makes is not intended to be a tomato soup.
No.
The meat flavors are supposed to be just a little stronger than the tomato flavor, not the other way around.
This was not a good potato. Oh well, I'll cut it in little bitty pieces. Just wasn't a very good potato. I don't know why, but anyway, it's hard in places. See that? Mm-hmm. It's dark and hard, but it'll be all right. Okay. Because as I cook it, it's going to break apart anyway. All right. Get the peeling off of this one.
And of course, you don't have to use potato or
no, you don't have to.
Spaghetti.
No, you do not.
But holiday food Rose cooks for the family, so she doesn't worry about carbs.
And you can add or take away or put whatever you want. I heard a girl say the other day, Brunswick stew always had butter beans in it. I have never in my life put butter beans in Brunswick stew. I've never known anybody to put butter beans in Brunswick stew, but she did.
It would be good.
And so, now I do put English peas. I do not have English peas today. So what I will do is I will go ahead and make this and freeze it. And then when I take it out to serve it, I'll just put some English peas in it because they're already cooked. Anyway, I use the LeSeur canned ones. They're already cooked anyway. So while it's heating up, then the peas will cook. Okay? All right. Now I'm going to need some more corn in it because that's not quite enough. I'm going to taste of it. Oh man, that's good. All right. Now, we also put ketchup. And
you do not want to leave the ketchup out.
You do not want to leave the ketchup out.
The seasonings and the ketchup really take it in the right direction.
Yep. All right. I'm going to start out with 3/4. Now, usually I do this back there on the stove. But since I'm doing a video, it's easier just to do it on the table. All right. We're going to start out with 3/4 of a cup. Now, you can use sugar-free ketchup if you want to. But since I'm making it for the family, if I was just making it for me and Roy, I would do sugar-free. All right. It's still not as red. I go by looks. A lot of my food, I go by the way it looks. This is not red enough. It's not as red as it should be. So I'm going to give it another little taste. It's delicious. But I'm going to put a little bit more ketchup in it. So this is going to be about a cup of ketchup. It's got plenty of tomato in it.
That's good. That's the kind of redness you normally have.
Yep, that's the color right there that I usually have. Now, let me get all
almost
this.
a burnt orange.
Yeah, almost. All right, let me get all this out of the way. I still may need to add a little salt and pepper. I'll see when I get my meat in it. Okay, now. Where's my knife? I just take my meat and I just cut it up in little chunks. You can shred yours, and I'm trying to get the dark meat. There was a chicken breast in there, but I'm trying to get the dark meat because the dark meat is really, really good in Brunswick stew. And I will make chicken salad out of that breast because it's not going to take all this. Now it's going to take about 2.5 cups of chicken, 2.5 cups of pork for this much. So, all right, that's the way I do my chicken. I just cut it in little old bitty chunks. But if you want to shred it with your mixer, but when you shred it, it's like in long strings. I'd rather have mine in just little chunks than shredded like that. All right, and I do my pork the same way. I just take it. Now it is just all to pieces. It's just exactly the way.
All you do there is just sort of pull it. Because you've already got it cut in pieces.
I know, but I cut it. Just like, I don't want to pull it, because when you pull it, it gets little. Now this one is okay, because it's just cut all to pieces. It's just all to pieces. And that's exactly the way I like it in my Brunswick stew. I don't want any strings. And when I say strings, I mean just
hanging over the spoon.
I don't want it shredded. Yeah. I want it in just little chunks. Okay? All right. So I am going to finish cutting my chicken. I'm going to finish putting my pork in it. And then I'm going to taste of it again. And we're going to put it on the stove. And it's going to cook about 30 minutes. And then we're going to have Brunswick stew. So I'll be back. All right, y'all. Now that is a pot full of goodness right there.
Ooh.
Now, my broth that was left over, I mixed my pork and my chicken broth stock. This is stock. I mixed it together because a lot of times that's what I do. I'll take some pork broth out and some chicken broth and I mix it. But today I just put it in one container like this and I will put it in the freezer. Now.
Yeah, let's get back to this.
There is
Whoa.
2 ways you can do this. You can do it like I did it today, on top of the stove in a pot. You have to cook your chicken and you have to cook your pork. Now you can use rotisserie chicken if you already have chicken stock, or if you use the chicken stock in the box or the can. Well, don't use it in the can, that's broth. If you're going to use it in the like quart box, and because you can get the stock in that. So, and stock is just richer than broth. You can do it just like I did it. Cook your, if you're using chicken, if you're using rotisserie chicken, then you just pick it off the bone. But if you're, for your Boston butt, you have to cook it. Cook it in the Instapot. Now, once you get your meat done, what you can do is you can put all of this in the crock pot and just all of your ingredients, just like I put in this pot right here. You can put it in a crock pot and you can put it on low for about 3 hours and then it's ready to go. It's done. Just like I did it in this. I just always do mine in a pot because I love making Brunswick stew. I love doing it this way. But now when I take it out of the freezer, I will put it in the refrigerator the night before, let it thaw, and then I will put it in my crock pot and leave it to warm up. Now that's how I serve it. It's in the crock pot. So that's just a little, if you don't want to do it in here, just put it all in the crock pot after you get your meat done and you're good to go. Okay, y'all. Look at that. All right, I want to clean my, now that is a bowl of goodness right there. This is a bowl of goodness. It's hot. It's still hot. But I'm going to give it a taste test for y'all. Oh my goodness. Y'all, when I go by this recipe, it tastes exactly the same every time I make it. Exactly the same. You go by the recipe that I put in the description box, yours will taste just like mine. And let me tell you, man, make you a piece of lacy cornbread.
Ooh, Rose.
To go with this.
You're killing us. A hush puppy if you had one.
A hush puppy or a late piece of lacy cornbread or hot water cornbread, ever what kind of cornbread. Cornbread in the stove. Anything is good with my Brunswick stew.
It is.
So, y'all were asking for it, and I wanted to show you how easy it is. It is a little time consuming, but once you get your meat done, now you're good to go. I mean, it takes no time once you get your meat done. So.
Yeah, and you want extra points today, hit that thumbs up button.
Hype.
And then hit the hype.
And then hit the hype button.
That's right.
Subscribe to my channel and share this video. Hit the little notification bell. Food feeds the family. Family feeds the heart. God feeds the soul. put deliciousness back in your Brunswick stew. And I'm telling you, this is so, so good.